Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. I had a question about, I've been talking about getting licensed and newly licensed agents. So what are the fees? The question somebody asked me is, what are the taxes and fees associated with a newly licensed agent? So there are no real taxes involved in it. But let's go through the process so everybody understands. How much is it going to cost to become a licensed agent, salesperson? It's much less than you think. So number one, you got to take a 75-hour course. I recommend everybody do this online, and I should get higher up, right? It's like $100 to take the course, right? And I know people say, well, I don't learn online, and I understand that. But here's the truth. Even in person, there's no guarantee you're going to learn anything. I've taken a lot of in-person courses, continuing education courses. I used to do them, and I got to tell you, it's completely hit or miss when you take a live course of whether the instructor is going to be somebody who even knows what the hell he's talking about. It's not a very high-paid job. Most of these guys are just pedantic. They just like to talk. And I've been in courses with teachers who were terrible and didn't teach anything. So there's no guarantee taking a live course is going to teach you anything. In fact, sometimes you learn less online. And the problem with doing it online is you got to commit 2 weeks to it. And a lot of people just don't have that kind of time if they're working. Even if it's night, at night it's hard. So I recommend everybody do it online, especially if you work in front of a computer. Just keep a tab open in the background. You have to answer a couple of questions. It doesn't even matter if you get them right or wrong. Sometimes there's a test, and if you get it wrong, they'll give you another chance. It's very easy to just have this in the background and get it done in like a week. 75 hours is not a lot of time, a week or week and a half. So that's about $100. Then you got to pay a small fee to the state to take the state test. So I don't know what that is, $30? Says they were $130. Then, once you pass the test, and we're not going to talk about if you fail a test, because there's a simple book called Cram for the Exam, Study for the New York State Real Estate Brokers and Salesperson License Exam that you can take out from the library for free, or you can buy from Amazon for $20. Let's say you bought the book, it's $150. Now, you pass the test. Now, the next step is you have to associate with a real estate broker. Now, anybody can park their license with me for free, so don't worry about that. If you are worried about it, when I left the test, when I took it, I don't know, 6 years ago, there were people out there trying to grab you. Hey, come to us. So a quick pitch for why you want to park your license with me. A, it's free. B, I pay 100% commission. So if you get your own deal, you just pay me a few $100s and you get it. I last year I had a guy who did an $80,000 commission job. It was like a $4 million house, $80,000 commission job. And I paid him every bit of it except for a few $100. So let's talk further. What are the costs? So the only real cost you have is once you associate with a broker, then you need to become get MLS, multiple listing service access. That costs approximately, they just raised it a little bit, I think $600 a year. So you can be basically a full agent for $600 plus another $150. So we said so maybe $750 a year. No, and then going forward, it's only $600 a year. Now, they just combined the two multiple listing services with the Hudson HG, whatever the hell that was, Hudson something, and Stratus. So they raised the fee. I don't understand why. They really didn't change anything. It wasn't very helpful. I was really hoping it would improve. We have the worst MLS in the country here. I can tell you that. I never knew how bad we were. You go to most parts of Florida, Chicago, LA, you can get comps in 3 seconds. You just put in an address and do a comp search and say, I only want comps in the last year. But our crap, you run it, you have to do 15 steps, click location, put it in there. You get everything in the last 2.5 years. Let's say I don't want something 2 years old. It's just, I have to sort it. It is horrible. Horrible. We have the worst MLS. But having said that, it's still the number one way to comp out property. So you're going to have to pay about $600 a year to be a licensed agent if you want MLS access. And I highly recommend you do. Just to go over again, the 3 reasons why I think anybody who's doing real estate investing should be licensed. Number 1, is what we just said, MLS access. So if you have a friend who wants to give you their credentials, I think it's illegal, but then you have MLS access already. Now, again, there is if you're not licensed, and I tell everyone, do not wait to get licensed before you start, because you can use PropStream. I have a link below called RE Data Now, gives you a 7-day free trial. It's $97 a month, and I think I give back 10% every 3 months. So PropStream is almost as good as MLS. It's probably 85 to 90% as good as MLS, but MLS is the best. So number 1, you want MLS access, you want to be licensed. Number 2, you want to be able to list your own properties on the MLS. So if property is vacant, you can list a wholesale property. You're just not allowed to represent that you own the property. You have to list it as a contract vendee. but you can find buyers that way. Or if you wholesale or rehab the property and you want to sell it to retail buyers, obviously you want to put it on the MLS and be in control of that listing. It's not so much the money, although saving 2% is nice. It's being in control of the listing. You can change a price if you need. You can change a picture if you need. Being in control is very good. So that's number 2. And number 3 is if you go on enough appointments, you're going to meet people who just want to list. They don't want to sell to you. And I've said on hundreds of occasions to people, I've gone in the house, I go, listen, the house is in pretty good shape. If you're not in a rush, the way to get the most money is to list it. I say that all the time. So you should be able to take listings. Now, if you're one of these people who are watching the internet and watching all these people tell you, oh, realtors suck, and when I go there, I tell them that you don't have to pay any commissions, you're just missing the boat, right? Everybody knows they can list. You're telling someone they can list is not some flash of brilliance that say, oh, I didn't realize I could list. The only way they're gonna sell to you is if they have a problem that selling a cash solves. So if they don't want to clean it up, if there's a permitting issue, if there's a permitting issue, if there's unpermitted additions, if there's things that they don't want to deal with. Sometimes they just don't want people in the house. Sometimes they're COVID crazy. Whatever it is, they don't want people in the house. That's possible, but that's going to be a problem that you can solve. If there's no problem that you can solve, right? If they want full price and there's no time issue, they're not in a crazy rush, or they don't. Sometimes, people think that we're going to sell properties more for people who need to sell very fast. I've sold more properties to sellers who didn't have any place to go and just wanted to know they had a contract in place and that they could take as much time as they need to go find a place. Then I bought from people who needed to close very quickly. So timing is an issue, but if you don't have a problem they can solve, they're not going to sell it to you. And telling them that they can list is not something that they don't know. So having a license is helpful in that regard, because there are people who you're going to go to. First of all, they don't even understand the concept. I've gone to people and they said, where do we sign a listing agreement? I thought they were going to sell me the property. I pulled out a listing agreement and they signed it. And I've gone to people who thought they were going to sell it to me, and I go, don't sell it to me. You're going to leave $100,000 on the table. We could just list it. And I always try to do what's in the best interest of the seller, the client. So those are the 3 reasons you want to get licensed. So there aren't really a lot of costs with being licensed. There really aren't. Sorry about this. What's important is for you to understand that it's not expensive and it's not difficult. And people look at getting licensed as a realtor as some kind of crazy mountain that they can't overcome. I can tell you, the average realtor is not that bright. The average realtor does not do a lot of deals, and it's very easy to get licensed. So do not be concerned and afraid about the test or the licensing or the expense. It's really not expensive, right? And theoretically, if you wanted to, like I said, it shouldn't cost you more than $750 your first year and $600 a year after, unless they raise the LIBOR, the MLS dues. So I would say that's what it costs. I hope I'm not missing anything. It's possible I am. If I am, I will do another video explaining why I screwed up. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. As a broker, I have additional costs because I have to pay for people under me. But it's really not that expensive. So, should I get that? Or should I just... Peter, can I call you right back?
Sure.
Thanks. Sorry about that. So, it's not expensive. Now, if you're interested in how I can help you, you can go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in my course, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you're interested in my coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any of my platforms, please click like. Thumbs up really helps me. And keep the comments coming. This came from a comment that I just got yesterday. The way it works with comments, I try to answer every single comment again. If it's a simple answer, I'll just respond. If it's something where I did video or multiple videos on it, I will send you links to the videos. I'm doing that every day. People ask me questions that I answered already. And if it's something that I haven't really covered or something I haven't covered in a while, I'll do a video on it. So please keep the comments coming. I really appreciate them. And thank you very, very much for watching.